What's good, guys? This is Vahography. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. Back at you with another video. Today's video, I'm gonna give you 10 important tips when you're looking to buy gear, buy camera gear online, on Craigslist, on OfferUp, Facebook. Check this out. Rock and roll. Before I get started with my 10 tips, please like and subscribe to Vahography. Please hit that bell icon. Give me a thumbs up on the video. I'll really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. So just to let you guys know, I've been buying and selling online for a while now. So I'm kind of experienced in this subject. So I'm gonna give you 10 tips right now when you're looking to buy camera gear on Craigslist or a site similar to Craigslist. So let's get started. So tip number 1. Before you get started looking online, looking at other listings, go on eBay, see what the sold price is on the item that you want to purchase used from someone. Go to eBay. What I do is I go to eBay, I go to the item, I search the item, then I tap on the sold icon and I see approximately how much this lens or this camera or this item sells for on eBay sold listings. Sold listings are usually in green, and you can tell that they've been sold for that particular price. So the first thing before I even look up the item on Craigslist is I see what they're selling for just to get a ballpark figure and what I want to spend, what I'm going to spend online. Tip number 2, guys, find a local seller. And here's why. eBay is cool, it's convenient, it's easy, but personally as a photographer, and I've been doing this for a while, I like to check out the item. I like to hold it. I like to test it out before I hand over my money. So that means Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook, Marketplace. That's what I use when I'm looking into buying used camera gear online. Like I said, eBay is really easy, really cool, but I like to meet up. I like to test it out before I hand over my money. I don't want to deal with the delivery, shipping, all this and that. I want the item in front of me, testing it out before I buy. So tip number 3, guys, it's time to pinpoint the seller, the local seller. Once you've found the item and it's available, you've contacted the seller either by email or phone or text, now it's time to validate this person. You don't know who he or she is. You have to validate, you have to confirm that it's, first of all, a real listing and it's a real seller. You have to try to stay away from scammers. There's a lot of scammers online, a lot of people that are not legit sellers, so you have to be aware of that. What I do is I contact the seller either by text or email, and I ask them politely if I can FaceTime them, just to have a FaceTime conversation with them and to see the item via FaceTime. I want a phone number. I want a legit phone number. Always ask for a legit phone number. None of those text app numbers. That doesn't work for me. I need to confirm, I need to validate the seller as a real, legit seller. Make sure he's holding the item that you're interested in. Very important, guys. So tip number 4, guys, find out about the item as much as you can before you let him know what your offer is. Find out the specifics of the item, when it was purchased. Is it a gray market item? Is it from your country? Do you have warranty? Is there a receipt? The condition. Find out all the details before you make an offer. Sometimes the seller is including some extras. Is there any extras included with this product? If you're buying a camera, how many extra batteries do I get? Do I get a card? Find out all the details, the warranty, receipt, all that good stuff, the condition, any scratches. Gather all the details you can about this item, put it all together, and submit your offer. Let them know what your offer is. So tip number 4, get as much information as possible from the seller. So tip number 5, guys, now it's time to let them know what your offer is. Factor in, again, what the eBay sold prices are on this item. Based on all those facts I just mentioned, let them know your offer. Always suggest a little lower than what the eBay sold prices are, so that way you have some room to go back and forth and to negotiate. Give them an offer that's a little lower than what the actual price you want to pay is. Again, so you have a little room there to, negotiate. Tip number 6, it's time to negotiate with the seller. If they say your price is too low, sorry about that. It doesn't hurt to ask them or let them know, hey, check out the eBay listings, check out the sold prices on eBay. Let them know that eBay sellers pay fees, shipping, and all that stuff. And it's really an advantage for you to sell locally because you don't have to ship, you don't have to pay eBay fees and all that good stuff. So educate the seller. He probably knows already, but educate him on all those facts. That's why your offer is this much, because eBay is selling it for this price, but you also have to pay all these fees on eBay, you have to ship on eBay. And also, every once in a while, you get an item that there's not that much of online, but the seller knows this and he's selling it for close to retail. Let him know that why would you make an offer on his item if you could just buy it brand new for almost the same price? Yes, you're gonna pay taxes, but some people, they say, well, you're gonna pay tax. That's not your problem. When you're buying used, you don't factor in the tax. It's always good advice and smart to let the seller know that retail price is this much and you're asking this much. Why would I buy from you if I can get it brand new, fresh warranty, receipt, everything? So that's a good point to make to the seller. Sometimes when you're selling equipment, you want to lose less as possible. So that's why they set prices that are not really that realistic. So let them know that why would I buy your item if I could just buy brand new for 100 or 200 more? Tip number 7, now that you set the price, you guys are good to go. Now it's time to meet up. Now it's time to meet. The location is very important. My first choice would be at a local bank. My second would be at a police station. My third would be at a local Starbucks. Somewhere where there's people around. And also take some people with you. Take a friend with you. Never go alone. It's always safe to take someone with you, just so you could have two of you guys there, just so there's no shenanigans going around and you're safe at all times. Tip number 8, never meet at a parking lot. Sometimes you get lazy. It's a really quick sale. It's a really quick buy. Hey, let's just meet at the parking lot. Or they suggest, can you just meet me at the parking lot? Never do that. No matter how small of an item you're buying, no matter how cheap it is or how expensive, always meet indoors at a public location. Daytime, plenty of light, plenty of people around. Never at nighttime, and never in a parking lot. Do not meet in a parking lot, guys. That's tip number 8. Tip number 9, guys. Make sure the item is as described by the seller. Now you're meeting him, you're sitting down at the local Starbucks, you're opening the box. Make sure everything is as described. No defects, nothing that's different from the conversation you had before you meet. If for some reason there's a few items that are missing, or they tell you at home that they have the receipt, but when you meet, they say they forgot the receipt, a lot of times you'll get that. So when you meet, make sure everything is as described when you had the conversation and when you made the deal over the phone. And also test the product, make sure everything works, because you cannot return it. This is not a store. Once you give them the money, once the transaction is done, you cannot call them back and say, you know what, I changed my mind, or it stopped working, or whatever. You bought it, it's yours, you cannot return it. This is not a store. So make sure everything is as described, test it out, and also sign a point of sale letter with both your names on it, serial numbers of the products. Sign the letter, have the seller sign it, you sign it, just so you have a copy that this sale actually exists. So he doesn't come back and said, you know what, he never gave me the money, he stole my product. You always want to cover your bases and sign that point of sale letter. Draft up a letter, write it out in front of him, and have both of you guys sign it. Also, what I do is I take a picture with the seller, with the item in my hand, smiling, everybody's happy, and just so you want to cover all your bases, like I said. You know, you don't know who you're dealing with. This is the first time you're meeting this person. So you want to be covered just in case something happens, you know, a problem arises from this situation, from the transaction. And tip number 10, guys, be safe when you're buying. You don't know who you're meeting out there. If the seller starts acting funny, if he's rushing you, there's a lot of red flags to watch out for. Those are very important. If he has an attitude problem, you got to watch out for all those things. And also, never give him the money unless you're sure you're going to take it and you're happy with the purchase. And also, guys, very important, like I said, test the item out. Make sure you want it. You cannot go back and return it, like I said. So watch out for the seller. If he's acting funny, if he's giving you attitude, and there's a reason for you to turn it down and say, you know what, I'm sorry, do it. And always keep in mind, guys, don't be afraid to turn him down last minute. Meaning, if there's something that you're not happy about, don't be afraid to say, you know what, I'm sorry, sir or ma'am, I changed my mind. You're not obligated to buy the item last second if you don't like something, if something isn't right, if there's something missing in the item he described. It's not as described. Never be afraid to turn him down. Be strong, guys. Remember, again, you cannot return it if it breaks. If something happens, you change your mind, you cannot go back and say, give me my money back. So always be sure and don't be afraid of making the right decision, guys. All right, guys, hopefully those 10 tips help you buy stuff online. I do it all the time. 9 out of 10 times, it's a perfect, great transaction. Save some money on the deal. There's nothing wrong with buying cameras and lenses online, guys. I do it all the time. Sometimes you don't want to pay full price for an item. There's a new model coming out and all the previous model owners, they want to sell their old body or some lenses. There's nothing wrong with getting it used. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody does it. But use my 10 tips and you'll be just fine, guys. Hopefully you like this video, guys. Like and subscribe to Vahography if you want more videos like this. I'm going to be putting out a seller's guide online as well. This is the buyer's guide, the 10 tips buying items online. I'm going to give you 10 tips when you're selling items online. All right, guys, this is Vahography. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. See you on the next video, guys. Oh!